Welcome to RISKSA TV. We're here at the second day of the Insurance Conference 2014 at Sun City, and we're speaking to Hugo van Zyl from the SAICB. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Real pleasure to be here.
Firstly, for those who don't know what the SAICB does, what do you actually do?
The South African Insurance Crime Bureau has started off in 2008. We're a not-for-profit company started by members of the South African Insurance Association. We've got 14 members at this stage. These members has agreed to join hands against organised fraud and crime within the industry. And since then we are active and alive, and at this stage we are the place to go to outside of government against crime in South Africa.
Are you looking for new members?
We're always on the look for new members, and I've pled to the people yesterday as well to join it, because the more people that we have involved, the more we can actually do against crime. The main problem I think at this stage in South Africa against crime is that the law enforcement agencies work in silos, and the criminals don't do that. They actually take hands and win the war against crime at this stage.
You mentioned yesterday that you think crime is crippling the insurance industry in South Africa. Why? What is the extent of what is going on?
I have mentioned yesterday about 17 different types of modus operandi, trends and patterns that's been used against our insurance industry. And there's just a few that I can mention. Cloned vehicles, where they actually take salvage vehicles and take the unique identifiers of those vehicles and put it over onto a robbed or hijacked vehicle or a stolen vehicle. My biggest problem with that is that they actually kill our people in South Africa for these cloned vehicles just to make money. And then other instances is accident staging, where they will actually take salvage vehicles which still is drivable. They will then actually take out a policy. Will have a claim very, very soon. Will have quotations from scrupulous panel beaters, as well as tow drivers. Will have a single vehicle accident at the end of the day, and then will actually lodge a claim with that company. Some of these groups, 11, 12, 13 million that's involved with some of these investigations, and I think that is at this stage one of our biggest problems. Another thing at this stage is phantom passengers in those vehicles, where they put in false road accident fund claims and false third-party claims.
Okay, what is your organization doing about this?
We're actually working very, very closely together with South African Police Service. General Munu, the head of the detectives in South Africa, we have got a very good relationship with him and all his senior staff. And also in the provinces, we've got very good relationships. We've got MOUs in place with the police through the Business Against Crime South Africa, and then also with the Road Accident Fund, the Department of Transport, the NPA Asset Forfeiture Unit. So we are actually standing together and do project-driven investigations, and we are actually targeting the right groups of organised criminals to actually to get rid of them. And actually the main thing for us is to prosecute and to have successful convictions in court.
What are your successful convictions like?
We took 16 cases to court at this stage. All 16 of them 100% conviction ratio. We are very proud about that. We've got 30 more cases that's running court at this stage in South Africa, and we would not like to change the 100% to anything lower than that.
Absolutely. Are there any trends emerging that you think insurers should be aware of?
I think some of the ones that I've mentioned about the accident staging, the cloned vehicles is a huge problem. Other trends is that criminals will actually take over the identity of clients when they actually took their vehicles into a panel beating shop for a minor bump. They will then act as the client, and then they will take that vehicle and go and pay the excess at the panel beater and take that vehicle. We had 34 cases so far. Most of these vehicles went to Botswana and Zambia, and there was policemen from these countries involved in the scam. We know who's the people involved. There's also a target-driven investigation on the go with that. And then another one that I've mentioned yesterday, and we gave our projects certain names, and this one we called Ladies of the Night, where the ladies actually would take some of these youngsters, yuppies, that arrive at the Blue Room or News Cafe. We'll have a few drinks with them, then ask them, the gentleman, if they can join him to his house. They will then give him a concoction of Rohypnol, epilepsy medicine, as well as the date drug. the date rape drug. And then 24 hours later, when this guy actually wake up, his house is empty and all his vehicles been stolen.
Oh my goodness. Are there specific areas where this is happening more?
This happened in the whole of Gauteng area. Fortunately, 8 of these people were arrested. There's another 8 that we're still looking for. This is an ongoing investigation. It didn't happen in the last 3 weeks, so we're quite happy about the arrest that took place. And I must tell you that the relationship between the South African Police Service, the South African Insurance Crime Bureau, and the tracker company is really good at this stage, and we really fight the crime very, very well at this stage.
It sounds like you certainly see some interesting things. What has been, to your mind, the most interesting case that you've seen this year?
We're busy with the case at this stage. We called it Mr. Ghost. We were not sure who was the actual individual involved, or if it was an individual. This person took on the identity of several old people and dead people. And he then actually lodged several claims and opened new policies on a daily basis. And he was running amok in our industry for many, many years. And when we actually did some investigation into this group of people, we saw that it's actually every time when he called into insurance companies, then he's a black man, then he's and it's a white elderly man. Then he's an Indian lady, then he's an Indian man, and then he's a black lady or whatever. And all the insurers just took on this policies. And then every day he sat at his desk and he actually received calls on certain phones at his house that was marked with that company's name on. And he actually was running amok for many, many years. And it took most of the insurance industry and other financial industries for a ride. He will now appear in court on the 15th of March of next year, where him and his wife will appear on many counts of fraud. And I think the total of that is not that big, but it's the number of claims. Because fast-track claims are actually under the radar, and that's been paid out regularly. So without any questions asked, that will be paid out. So Mr. Ghost and his wife will then appear on the 15th of March next year in the court in Pretoria for 3 weeks being set out.
Okay, hopefully another conviction there.
Sure it will be.
Any last words for insurers about joining your organization and the work you do?
No, I can just plead to the insurers to get involved, because the more companies that's involved, the better is the success rate against crime in South Africa. And it's not only going for me about the insurance industry, it's also going about the uninsured people of South Africa. We need to stand together and show that we join hands against crime in South Africa. And we've only got if we only have 14 companies in South Africa that's joining hands, that's a sincere problem for us. And I think to say that as well, data is key for the Insurance Crime Bureau. We need the data of the industry to show the size of the syndicates that's coming out of the data. And I really want again, I will stand on my knees again to plead to the industry that they actually join hands with the SAICB.
Well, we wish you very much luck, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
For RISKSA TV, I'm Christy van der Merwe.